Hello everyone, welcome to Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque Painting Live on Thursday, August 5th at 7 p.m. Central Time. And we are working on our Christmas in July box, which was our July box. And we had 6 ornaments done with 3 different techniques. We have the blue color wash set, we have the purple base coated set and then painted and some dry brushing, and we have the red and green set that we painted, and then we were going to antique it. And we finished our blue set already. We're in the middle of our purple and red set, so we'll push these guys aside. And we can do a quick show and tell. So Cordy has been invoicing for our August box, which is our large Mako gourd and dragonfly.
One person left. Diane.
Cordy says she has 1 person left, Diane, to invoice, and then I think 3 or 4 people she's waiting for replies from that she sent messages to. So this is our August box that we're boxing and shipping now. And it's again the large Mako gourd with the dragonfly. You get the rope to glue inside it. And then we also are doing a new background technique where I use saran wrap, kind of like you do on walls, with our hot orange and lemon peel, I believe it was. And we dab that on there, and then we made silk screens for the Welcome Autumn and the dragonflies, and then they're just randomly placed over the gourd. So this art is your silk screens that you will be getting. So the image was used from Cricut, so we do have our Cricut disclaimer on here. So this will be the silk screens that you'll be getting. It's the Welcome Autumn. And then we have actually 2 of the dragonflies in there, just because they're a little more delicate in case one of them you ruin it. So that's just a little extra. And then to go with that, you'll be getting a small container of the Silkscreen Medium, which will be enough for this project. So it's one of the little tubs that we use. It's not the actual bottle, I think it's a 4-ounce jar here.
I do have extra.
Cordy we were able to get extra of these, so if you do want extras of these to do more, we only included enough for the gourd project, so if you do want more of these, you can message Cordy and she can add it to your invoice. We do have extra of the Silkscreen Medium. And then the rope comes with it too, so that is your August box that we are currently working on boxing and shipping. So 2 new techniques. It's our new background technique and then our silkscreen technique, and it's not hard. The hardest part is getting the paint mixed to the right consistency, but I can tell you about that when we do our lives. It's not hard because I'll show you what the consistency has to be, but that is your box for August. So from there we can move on to our current box, which is our July box, and this is our purple ornaments that we're working on and our white ornaments. So I think we'll pick up with our purple ones where we left off. And let's see, I have to look on our instructions. So you do also get instructions in your box when we ship your box. So this is the instructions for the purple set, and I got to kind of look and see where we were at from last week. We were working on the green and the silver. So let's see, it looks like we were at about number 6. The mittens and all of that with the green. We are now going to dry brush our skis with our black brown and then medium brown. So we'll grab some black brown, which is OS 473, Duncan's Black Brown, OS 473. If you haven't gotten the August box, you can always go on our Brenda's Brushstrokes and Bisque.com and still purchase them. We still have some available.
Just a handful left. There's not a ton.
Cordy says a handful left, not a ton. I was actually hoping we'd sell out on this box, so
I think you will.
she thinks we will eventually because people seem to keep finding us. So it looks like my black brown don't want to come out here. I just got to squeeze it a little harder, I guess. OS 473 black brown. So we're going to do our skis, so we probably want a smaller sized brush for doing our skis. Let me grab a smaller one here. I'm going to use a size 3. And this is a Royal & Langnickel 4 bristle dry brush. So Courtney did get the order in for brushes, but we were back ordered the liners. So she may be hearing from her about that. If you ordered,
I think it'll be really, really close.
she thinks she has enough, but it may be close. So I'm just grabbing my black brown with my size 3, and I'm using a flat. You can use a flat or a round, and then brushing it out on my paper towel.
What'd you do to your arm?
So Courtney asked, "What did I do to my arm?"
Yes.
Oh, they're asking.
Yeah, what did you do?
So the pouring table's in the garage, and there's not quite enough room in there when I'm handling those big molds, and I kind of rammed my arm between the pouring table and a big mold a couple times yesterday.
A couple of times.
So, well, that's what happens when you moving big molds around. So it looks worse than it is.
It don't look too bad in person.
So no, it's fine. Just a little black and blue and a little. Actually, I think it happened the day before too, and so it's a couple days of black and blue, and yesterday it actually got skinned off. So, but we will be working in the garage on the week from this weekend and making room in there, and everything's coming out and insulating the walls, putting some kind of wall board up and 220 and kind of rearranging things so that I have more room around the pouring table. So I have cupboards, some older cupboards on the walls, and those are going to be coming out, so I'm going to gain probably 2 feet of space. So that should put an end to the, well, it won't put an end to it because I still end up with bruises messing with those big molds, so it shouldn't be as often as it is now. So I'm just dry brushing my black brown onto my little skis here. And I'm getting down into the side of them as well, coming up over the top here. So it gets to be kind of crowded in the garage because I like those big molds were on the table last night, but after I made slip, but then I poured them this morning, and then I actually poured, they come off the shelves then and go on some wooden shelves that I have or on the floor. And then I pour another batch, and then they come off the pouring table and onto the wood shelves, and then I pour another batch. And actually I have another batch on there that I'll pour tonight when I get home. So I pour 3 to 4 batches on the pouring table. So it gets kind of crowded in there. So, but we'll make it work. So the Silkscreen Medium, we have a question, what is the Silkscreen Medium? It's just a product from Mako, and it's a powder. Can kind of just show you, it's a real fine powder. This jar would probably last you a lifetime. You just sprinkle a little bit of it on top of your little pile of paint, and then I mixed it in with the palette knife. So it's just a powder that thickens the paint. And the paint has to be quite thick. Took me a little bit of practicing to get it the right thickness, but it has to be, it says as thick as peanut butter, but it's actually probably the thickness of cold peanut butter. It's quite thick, like a paste. So that way you can dip your finger into your pile of paint then and rub through, make from a circle from the center out on your silk screen. And that kind of prints your silk screen then onto your piece. It's really cool. I think you guys are going to really like it. And anyone that has any kind of a die cutting machine, you can make your own silk screens. You can watch Drew Woodward's silk screen video on Drew's Mud Zone. But basically you need the heat transfer vinyl. And then you need the 80 mesh silk, which you can buy right off of Amazon. And then you create your design, and then you cut out your design with your Cricut or Silhouette or whatever die cut machine you got. And then you peel the one side off, and then you iron your, warm your silk up, iron your silk to your vinyl, and ta-da, you have a silk screen. It's that simple. So now we need medium brown, which I don't see in my cart up here. Hold on, we gotta find some medium brown. No, that's gold. Courtney's looking for the medium brown. That looks like light brown. That's rosy brown. We thought they would have all been on top here. So the silkscreen, don't be afraid of it. It's actually going to be really easy. Really easy and fun. The worst part was getting the texture of the no, I couldn't have used it all. It's tipped over. Well, I can't see if it is tipped over. So the worst part of the silkscreen was getting the paint thick enough. It said the consistency of peanut butter, but I found it to be more of the consistency of paste worked better, so that it doesn't bleed under the silkscreen. So I think you guys will have a lot of fun with it. And if you have a die cut machine, like, you can just make tons and tons of your own. We're a little bit limited with the copyright as far as Cricut is concerned, but not too limited. So we have to investigate that a little further. I don't think we can actually sell the silk screens. We included it as part of the box kit, so that worked with this. So we'll investigate that more, and we'll see how that goes. So now we have medium brown, OS471, medium brown, OS471. And you can make your own designs too, but they have to be, you have to create an SVG file then to cut them, and I don't know how to do that, but we'll do some searching on YouTube and stuff, and we'll figure that out too. So I'm sure Courtney will be able to do it down the road. Huh? Yeah, we haven't had time with this box, getting this box out, and then all you guys' extra bisque. I'm sure it's not hard, and I possibly know someone that may know someone that knows how to do it, so because we're thinking about using it again for our Christmas box. We'll have to see. And then I'd like to use like our own design for that. So we have our medium brown OS471, and I'm going to use my same brush and then dip into my medium brown and brush it out onto my paper towel. And now I got black brown all over my fingers, all over my brush. No, I'm alright. I just got a new paper towel. So I just brush out my medium brown on my paper towel a few times to kind of work it up into that brush. And now I just want to highlight my skis a little bit, and I'm going across the texture on the skis, so the wood grain is going up and down, but I'm going across it. You want to go across your texture so you don't fill in your crevices with the medium brown. So you always want to go across your textures. If you go with them, you fill it in, and then you lose your dark shading color. And you can make these as light or as dark as you want them. I just kind of made them a nice woody grain color. You can see just by brushing across, we're leaving the black brown down in the crevices, and the grain of our wood is coming out. So we have our little skis all highlighted now. So let's see what's next. We're gonna paint our top gift lilac. So now we're gonna have to find our lilac, which is our OS450 lilac. And we'll get a drop of that. And that's kind of thin, so I'm gonna shake it up a little better. And then I'm just gonna use my liner brush. I think it's my 4595, but it's wore off. No, that's okay. And I'm gonna just paint out my top gift here with the lilac, using that liner, just because it's kind of got little dainty areas going around the mitten. Let's see, I put the September and October molds on the table this afternoon and poured those, so we can hopefully have our sample to show you guys our September molds or box molds next week. I think that was our plan, right, Courtney? Next week. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to paint them, though. We'll have to see. I guess we'll have to make time, huh? You don't
If I
know.
could make time, I would. We need a time machine.
Yeah, we need a time machine. Maybe we can invent that. We'd all be rich. So they're on there poured, and then also some extras that kind of go with it. So it's kind of a set. It's a Donna's mold, and your box will be 2 pieces, and then there are other pieces you'll be able to add
Including kitties.
to the box, including kitties. So it is a Halloween themed box because it's be done in September so that it's ready for October. So I should be able to get the box pieces painted for sure. I'm not sure about all the extra pieces because there's quite a few extras to the box, or for the box that you could add because it's a really cute little scene.
I'll ask if anybody knows the secret.
Of having your yeah. What's the secret to that? I'm not sure. Having the paint gush out the top. I'm not sure. Wonder if you like tapped it on the table like that after you shook it, if it wouldn't like put it back down so it doesn't gush out. We'll have to try that a few times. See if that does it. Okay, so we have our paint on our top present. We're going to let that dry, and now I'm going to go to my size 1 flat dry brush, and we're going to get a little bit of that lilac. Brush it out on my paper towel again, and just dry brush her earmuffs a little bit just to give them a nice highlight, which gives them more depth and just makes it more interesting. So you can make them as light or as you want, or leave them dark too. It's up to you. But you can see, like, now with that little bit of lilac on there, they have a lot more. You can see them better compared to the one that doesn't have the lilac on it. So we'll get both of them with some lilac. We'll just dry brush that a little bit. So I do like the flat brushes. I've been using them a lot more lately because you can turn them on their side and you have a nice narrow brush then to get into those little areas. Alright, so we got that done. We'll come back and put another layer on our present here because I can still see through it. And again, I'm just using a little liner just because it's a little area. Okay, so we'll wash out our brush and let that dry. Let me see, we have paint our nose rust. So we have our Doc Holliday Rust DH28, or you can use your Duncan Rust too. So let's shake this up and let's give it a tap on the table to see if that keeps that from gushing out. Yeah. And it didn't on that one, but it may not have anyway, so who knows. So I'm just using my same liner. I'm going to paint the little noses on both Snowman Rust now. I kind of like my rust underneath any kind of orange or under any red. And we'll actually do his nose right away, as long as we're got our fingers in the rust. Just painting it out with the liner. Okay, we'll wash out our brush. Let's see, now we have paint the eyes black, white, and then medium blue. So let's get some black and some white. And some medium blue. And I'll use my same liner. So I have black, OS476, black, OS476. And we'll get a little drop of black. And I like to dip my brush into water and add a drop of water to my little pile of black so that it flows better off the brush. And now we'll paint their little eyes black. Courtney did share the eye video. Someone asked about pumpkin eyes, but if you want, Courtney, you can share that for these eyes. It's really the same eye.
Did you find the scarecrow mold?
The what?
Scarecrow roll mold?
Yep. It's going to be on the table tomorrow. It's a Lakeland mold.
Oh, it's Lakeland.
Oh no, scarecrow. Not the scarecrow one I haven't looked for. That's the one with the cat and the pumpkins and the yeah, I know what you're talking about. That should be in the basement. So I'm just filling in our eyes with our black. And just using the liner brush because it's just a little area. Resting my piece in my hand and then resting my painting hand on my piece so I have nice straight steady lines. I kind of got little drops right at the top of her eyes, so we'll have to round them out a little better so we don't have that extra little dot up there. So we'll do that with the other one too. So again, resting my hand on my piece. We have a nice steady hand. Then I usually like to put a couple little black lines in on my little carrot just to give it a little more character too. Really thin little, like the little carrot indents. And now we'll go to our other one. Oh, I'm getting too low. Okay, sorry guys. I tend to want to draw that. I like to hold that piece really close to me when I'm painting eyes, but I'll try to bring it back in the screen here. Courtney can probably share the eye video link because it's really the same eye painting. It's from a while ago. It's probably not the best because it's probably from last year or even older. So I'm just trying to fill in my little black in my eyes and just using a liner. Well, Courtney says it's from a long time ago. 2019. Oh, we probably got to do a different one then sometime in our spare time that don't exist. So I do usually like to hold that ornament or whatever I'm doing eyes really close to me, but it's kind of hard to do so you guys can see it. So that's why I'm holding it out in the air. So you wouldn't want to do that. You want to hold it closer to you so you have better control of your piece and your brush. And so I'm just lining in my black eyes, the black part of the eyes. And then the video that she's going to share is basically the same eye, but it's just a bigger eye on a piggy bank. So that may help you with doing your eyes. And I'm sure there's other ways to do eyes too. That's just how I do mine. Now these little bitty ones I do a little bit different because I do the whole eye with the black, where you'll see with the piggy bank eyes I only do like the bottom 2/3 of it. Okay, so we got our black. I'm going to wash out my brush, and I had touched up my hat also when I was doing that. And I put my black lines on my carrot again. And now we'll go to our white, which is OS 431 white. And we'll get a little drop of that. And again, I'm going to dip into my water and add a drop of water to my white so it's kind of inky, so it runs and flows off the brush a little bit easier. And now we're going to put like a crescent moon on the bottom half of the eye for the white. And you want to just make sure your black outline is kind of equal on both sides. So it's kind of like a crescent shape of a moon, just that it's on its side instead of like straight up and down the way the moon is. And it's from about 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And then we'll go to the other one and do the same thing. You can see I'm really resting that painting hand on that ornament so I have a nice steady hand and not a shaky hand. And I don't fill in the whole eye with white, I'm just doing the bottom third or the bottom half. Because the top is going to get the black anyway, so. And sometimes you gotta. Huh?
Let the windows in the chat, let the locals know they can pick up Saturday.
Okay, so Courtney says she will be at the classroom on Saturday from 9 till who knows what time, probably 4-ish. For any of the local ladies that want to pick up their Bisque box.
You can pick up and shop, it's just the classroom is going to be destroyed.
She says you can pick up and shop in the Greenware and Bisque room too, but the classroom will be full of Bisque box shipping stuff. But you can come in and shop and pick up your boxes. And I should have your extras for you, Linda, too. I cleaned the cardinals today, so I'm going to wash out my brush now and go to my medium blue, which is OS457 medium blue. And I think I have the ghosts already cleaned. I just have to fire them. So I'm going to put that drop of water in my blue. And now we can put a little blue crescent above the white crescent. It's kind of like a little moon shape, I guess you could say. And that's too much. It's too wet, so I got to add a little more paint. I had too big of a drop of water. So if it's too thin, kind of too thin, see-throughy, it'll run, and you don't want it to run. You just want it to flow off that brush a little bit easier. So now we'll do our blue moon shape here. I don't know what else to call it other than a moon shape because it's kind of a crescent like a moon. And you could use any color. You wouldn't have to use blue if you wanted them green or whatever, brown. I just tend to use blue, I guess. Whoa. So we'll put our little moon shapes in our man here the same way as we did the other one. Now I went over onto my black, so I'll have to fix my black. So they're kind of hard just because they're such little eyes. You could also just do black, and add a white dot in each like at 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock in each eye. So now we'll go to our black. We'll go back to our black OS476, and we'll kind of straighten up our blue crescent so it looks a little bit neater. And kind of fix up my side here I went over. So if you're having trouble with the eyes, watch the piggy bank eye video that Courtney shared. That should help quite a bit. So now we got to fix up this guy where I got the blue on the black here. Sometimes it's better just to like start over and paint it black again, and we'll fix our crescent on the other one. And he's got a pretty ugly little eye here, so I think I'm actually just gonna cover it up and start over. So when they're so little like that, it's easier just to fill it back up and start over. Okay. Wash our brush out so we can go back to white. And let's see, so she looks pretty good, so we can add a little white dot. I like to do them usually at 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock. We'll go at 1 o'clock. And you can use your ball stylus or your paintbrush, whatever works for you. And again at 1 o'clock. So there are her eyes. So now we'll come back to him. That should be dried enough. We can come back and put our white back in. So can you guys believe it's August already? So we have our white in. We'll have to let that dry for a second. It's been a really hot summer here. So we'll come back with our blue. And we'll wash our brush out, and then I can come back with my black so I can match my blue up to the other side. My tablet went out, Courtney. Match our eyes up to the other eye. Okay, so we can wash our brush out, and we can go back and get our white and put our little white dots in his eyes. Again, I'm just going to do them at 1 o'clock. Just the little dot. You want to don't get too big of a dot so it looks like they're staring in the headlights. But there we go. We got our little eyeballs done. All right, now we can paint purple and silver lines in the top gift. So let's see, what does our top gift look like? Okay, we have silver and then purple, so it looks kind of like a plaid. So we will go to silver, which is our UM956 silver, UM956 silver. And we'll give that a shake, and we'll get a little drop of paint. And I'm going to put a drop of water in there again and stir that up just so it flows better off the brush. If it's just that little bit makes it flow better, then I like to draw my brush through the paint and do a like a quarter turn and then drag it through there, and that puts a nice point on the brush. So now we will just start with putting some lines on our present here. So again, I'm going to rest that finger on my painting finger, hand finger on my present. And I'll just start in the middle and draw a line towards me. And I'll stop where the center of the fold is there. And now I can kind of divide up this right side of the present, I'll put another silver line in the middle of that. And then I kind of stop right where that fold is. And now we can put a silver line in between the left side of it and stop where the fold is. So this is kind of making a plaid. So we'll put a line in the center here again of this side and come to where the fold is. And then I can come back and put one in the middle again. And that just helps divide up that area kind of evenly. And one on the bottom. And then we have our little guy here on the side. So the bottom one, I'm actually going to flip my ornament upside down so I can draw that brush towards me. And we'll put one in the middle. And then one in between. And another one in between. And we'll do the same with the side. Put one in the middle. Bring it to the center of that fold. You can kind of see the lines where the fold, like where the gift was folded. Okay, so we have our first set of silver. So now we have to go the other way. So I'm going to go on the top here and kind of go in the middle. Draw it towards me. And actually come right around the side. And then I'll turn it and go from the bottom up just to meet them up. It's just easier to pull that brush towards you. And then we will do this another one. Coming across the front of it and joining up with the side. And then coming down the other side. And joining it up. And let's see, we'll put one more in the back here. And then we can put a couple in on the little front halves of each little fold. Okay, so that's your silver. And then we also had purple on there, so let's go to our purple, which is OS452 purple. So let's see. Get a little bit of purple. Again, I'm going to grab a little drop of water, mix it in there, and then I draw that brush through there and turning it and puts a nice point on it. And now we'll put some purple in between all these silver ones just to give it a nice little plaid look. I'm just going in between all my silver lines. Resting that painting hand right on that piece. And then we'll put some purple on the front here. In between our silver lines. So now we have our nice little plaid stripes on here, and if you want you can go the other way in between too and add some more. Let's see, we'll come this way up here. drawing it towards me, resting that painting hand on my ornament. And bringing them down to our little folds. And we'll do our, don't forget your little side over here on the right hand side so it doesn't look like it got missed. Okay, so there we got to do the bottom here too. Come up in between these. So there we go. We have a nice little plaid present. Alright, so what's next? Paint purple and silver lines on the top gift. Silver dots on the middle gift. We already did that. And white snowflakes on the bottom one. So we'll take our white after I wash my brush out again. Yeah, let's see, I think we'll get a little more white. OS 431 white. Just another little drop. I think I gotta clean paint bottles up here one day. Alright, so we're gonna draw our brush through that. Excuse me, there was already some water on there, so we won't add that. So now we're gonna make little snowflakes on our bottom gift. And I just do a kind of a little plus sign. And then put a little X in between the pluses, and there we have our little snowflakes. And I just kind of did them random here and there. So a plus sign and then another X in between it. So it's just two plus signs. I gotta wash my brush out because it keeps splitting on me here. And I'll just go here and there and add some snowflakes. Again, the plus sign. And then go in between kind of with the X or another plus sign. You can do bigger ones or littler ones, whatever works for you. Again, it's just the plus sign and then the X in between. And just keep putting them randomly. And just do them a little bit bigger so you guys can kind of see them better. So again, we'll do our plus sign. And then come back and do the X in between. And we've got to get a couple on the bottom here. Plus sign. And then the X in between. And a plus sign. And the X in between. We'll do one more on the bottom. Plus sign and the X in between. And then I usually like to get one right on the curve of it so it looks like the paper's like really going right around the corner there. And get a part of one here just because it's folded underneath there, so you don't want them all to be full and complete. And we'll get another one up here on top. Whoa, that's a fat one. That's okay. And get one down here in this corner. Just go back and make these a little bit bigger just to kind of match it. So there we go. We have that on there. So let's see, did I put little, I didn't, oh, I used silver, but I used white on. Oh no, it's white, so I guess we're good. So what's next? Paint silver on the frame, which we had done that last time and around our snowflakes. We didn't do it on this one, but I don't have to sit here and do that. You guys watched us do it that last time. If you want, she's got little stitching on her jacket. They both do, and I didn't do that on my ornament, but you could do that. So just add some little silver stitching on here just to kind of jazz it up a little bit. We'll do that to both of them. And you wouldn't have to, you know, you don't ever have to do anything you don't want to. Do whatever you want with your ornaments or your pieces so they're the way you like them. You could do lilac stitching, or you could do green stitching, or you wouldn't have to do stitching at all. Like mine, I didn't do stitching at all, so. Okay, so let's see. We got the silver. So this frame would be silver also, but again, I won't waste time doing that on camera. You guys can do that on yourself. I did see we missed our green on our hat. Oh, where's our green? So I'm going to go back to my avocado OS466 and put his little green band on his hat because we missed that last week. And that's not coming out so good. See, Denise likes the snowflake colors. Hasn't started hers yet. Mary says, hey, good evening, girls. Oh, glad we could catch up with us, Mary. And Gail says hi. So I'm just going to come back and paint our little hat band on this guy with our avocado. And again, I'm just using that liner brush for a lot of this painting just because it's a lot of little detail work. So does everyone have their ornaments done already? I know a few people have been posting pictures of them, and they're looking really good. You can see the hat band color adds a lot to his little hat. It was kind of plain before. Now he's got a green avocado hat band. And we'll let that dry and give it another coat. Let's see. Yep, Claire, I seen yours earlier today. They look really good. Alrighty, let's see. Look at our other guy. So he looks like he's looking pretty good. Looks like he needs his pink on his cheeks yet. Let's see. We added our fringes last time. Paint silver on the frame. We're going to skip that. Okay, so we're going to do our watercolor now for our cheeks. So for that, to make a watercolor, I just take my azalea. And if you have chalk, you can use chalk too. But I have azalea OS559 azalea. And I'm just going to get a little drop of it. And I'm going to take my brush and get a drop of water on it. Hopefully you can see that. And mix that into my azalea and kind of pull it off to the sides, almost to where you can see the foil through the azalea color. So then I know it's thin enough. And then I like to tap it on the paper towel and then just lightly come back and kind of blush the cheeks. You can see that even though I tapped it on the paper towel, hopefully you can see that there's just a little bit of pink going on those cheeks. But you could also use chalk if you have chalk. So we'll give them some little pink cheeks like they're out in the cold. And you can see it's a nice soft watercolor look to it. So there we have their cheeks done. So then we can touch up any areas. So I see I need to touch up my purple on my mittens. I got the brown from the skis on there. So we're just going to go back and touch them up and make them look all pretty. So you want to go back and touch anything up and just kind of pretty it up, because that'll make your work look really nice. Touching up where we got that purple covered up with brown. And he looks pretty good. Looks like we got to touch up our silver a little bit there too. So wash out our brush, and let's see, here's our silver. We'll get a little bit of silver and touch that up. And we'll wash out our brush and go back to our avocado and kind of touch up his hat band here because it kind of needs a second coat. And you could put plaid lines or polka dots or snowflakes in the hat band too if you wanted. So I heard the weather on the way down here today is supposed to get really humid for the weekend. Hooray, hooray. Nope, it's not. Yep. It's supposed to get really humid. Okay, so our key looks good. So let's look at our girl, see if she needs any touching up. She's looking pretty good. I'll touch up our silver here where I got the lilac on it. So you just want to take that little extra time and go back and touch up your pieces if it needs a little touching up here and there. It just takes a little bit of time. And I'm just looking it over, so it looks pretty good. Let's see, what does she look like? Okay, looks good. So basically, they are actually done. I don't know how we're doing on time. So at this point, I would, after they're touched up, I spray them with the aerosol sealer, and I like the satin. And then in your actually, we're going to do the snow last on all of them, so let's skip that part. So I would spray them with the aerosol. I like satin because it's not flat and it's not super glossy, but the satin makes it look like a nice icy look to them. So we'll put the snow and the glitter on all of them at the end. So I would actually sit these guys aside, and then we can go to our red ones. And how are we doing on time? 10 to 8? Okay, good. So we can go to our red set now. So, getting ready to, and I've been painting my vase. Oh, awesome. So let's see what else. Denise is liking the little ornaments. What else we got going on here? We're all caught up. All right, so we can go to our red ones now. So your red ones also had instructions, and we started by painting them white, which was number 1. And then we painted number 2, the hats and the berries and the coats with the rust. And now we can go to real red, which is our OS 483, real red, OS 483, and I got paint all over here, bottles everywhere. I'm just going to flip that over and go to the back side. So we have our OS 483, real red. Oh, that's getting low. We might need one of them. Do you have red here or not? There's enough for tonight. So we have our OS 483, real red. And I'm probably going to go back to my little liner again, just because it's a lot of little areas painting out. So we're just going to paint our real red over our rust. And we just kind of line it out here. So the rust helps the red cover better. So you'll see that I usually do that. Some people will use gray. Just anything to tone down that bright white will help your red cover a little better. The reds actually cover pretty good these days compared to years ago. You can get by without the rust too. It just may take an extra coat. So we will just get all our little areas with our real red. So then we will be able to finish these guys next week. And then your boxes will be en route to you. And then the following week we will start our gourd. And that will probably take 2 times. And then I'm going to do a second project with the gourd, which I just haven't had time to do. But I believe I'm going to, it's either going to have a Halloween scene painted on it, or it's going to have painted into a scarecrow. So maybe you guys can just like let us know. Would you like a Halloween haunted house scene painted, kind of freehand? Or would you like it painted into a scarecrow? So I guess give us some comments on the second gourd project if you would like to see a Halloween house painted with probably a tree, or if you'd like it painted into a scarecrow.
You're gonna paint this into a scarecrow?
The gourd, yeah. Oh, you should see Courtney's face, you guys. Like she can't believe that's gonna happen. She doesn't envision the scarecrow. So I guess make some comments if you want a Halloween house scene. Probably have a tree and a cat and a Halloween haunted house, and probably the moon.
They're saying the scarecrow. We're gonna watch you pull that off.
And then otherwise we're gonna paint it into a scarecrow. And Courtney has her doubts big time.
Highly doubtful.
Highly doubtful. Oh, you're gonna be surprised then. So let's see. You guys pick which one you want. We'll see what's got the most comments, and that's
scarecrow. They got faith in you.
Huh? They got faith in you. You don't have faith in me? Oh my God, Courtney, really?
I mean,
come on.
A scarecrow.
A scarecrow face head. She still don't believe it, you guys. Oh man.
I don't even know.
I already have it planned out in my head.
It's not in my head.
No, it's not in your head, but it's in mine, so it'll be really easy, actually. Easier than the house. I'll probably have to do both now, just so she can show you guys one, and then we'll do the other one, I guess. But just painting it into a scarecrow is going to be really super easy. So comment away. Do you want a Halloween house scene, or do you want a scarecrow as the second project? No, I made snowmen out of clay pots.
No, you had scarecrows on a rod and a clay pot.
Anything's possible. See? Made witches out of tomato cages.
It was a scarecrow, and you had a rod coming out of a clay pot. And you had all them terracotta pots.
Well, I made those snowmen. Mostly with those clay pots.
Denise likes the idea of having one on each side.
Having what? Idea on one on each side? Well, I'm not sure if that'll work.
So you can spin it.
Yes, you can spin it. I'm not sure if that'll work, because like the scarecrow will have a hat line, so Courtney's laughing, you guys. She's really oh my God, I think we're doing the scarecrow just for the heck of it.
I can't envision anything.
It's like painting those snowmen on the pot lids, Courtney. It's just so it'll be
But I wouldn't have envisioned that if you'd have described it to me.
Well, now you know why she don't paint, you guys.
No, I got no imagination.
Well, whichever one gets the most votes is the one we'll do, but I'll show you the other one too.
I seen the Jolly Tree as a scarecrow.
Well, yeah, so it's just the gourd instead of the Jolly Tree. We had ordered the Jolly Tree, but it came broke the first time, and now the second time it didn't make it on the pallet, so getting a little frustrated with the Jolly Tree.
Elizabeth always trusts her mother.
That's a good one, Elizabeth. She has no imagination, you guys.
None. Can't envision nothing.
It has to be like shown to her.
Yeah. I can copy, like I can.
She says she can copy it, but she can't envision it. Well, you can't even copy it. You won't be able to copy it. Let's get real. Let's get real. You can be able to copy it either.
Don't have no faith in me?
Nope.
I take a picture of it.
So she can take a picture of it, she says. Oh, wow, that'll be good. So we're just painting our red out on our little snow girl here. And she'll probably need one more layer, so we'll put her aside and come and do our boy. So it looks like Scarecrow might be winning.
Yes. You got quite a few haunted houses.
Yeah, that'll be nice too. Oh.
I like that on the back of like a witch's shoe.
Yeah, so it's the same thing except on a gourd. My visionless daughter over here.
That's the truth.
I think the scarecrow will be pretty cool.
I'm a big scarecrow person.
Well, it's a fall thing. People like them. So we're just we're painting our real red.
Well, listen, fists are about to fly.
Huh?
Fists are about to fly here.
Fists are... Maybe we should have Courtney paint it, and I'll tell her what to do.
That's a hard no. You might get me to do the October box.
Oh,
Maybe.
Courtney says she might do the October box, you guys.
For my house.
No, I think you should do it on Thursday night.
Oh, how about that?
Wouldn't that be something? We're just painting our real red on our little snow guys here. Now we did have a question about the instructions on these, that they were sealed before they were antiqued, and I did do that. It's just another way of doing things. You can antique it afterwards too, if you'd rather do it that way, but I did do it beforehand to keep the snow from getting quite so dark. That's the reason for doing that, sealing it and then antiquing it. So that just shows you guys that there's, everything's kind of versatile. You can do many things, many different ways. Nothing's like written in stone that you have to do it antiquing afterwards only. So we're just brushing out our red here and getting our pretty little red hats. I do like to rest that painting hand on my piece, so I have a nice steady hand when I'm outlining my snowman here around the face and wherever the white is up against it.
I don't have the details, but the Florida Ceramic Show is this weekend. If anybody...
Courtney says she don't have the details, but the Florida Ceramic Show is this weekend, so if you guys are in Florida and want to go, you could probably just search online Florida Ceramic Show, and it should come up. The shows are fun to go to. They're not just for businesses. Usually they're usually open to the public, and then there's usually people selling besides companies like Mako and Clay Magic and that. There's usually individuals or people there selling bisque and things too. So if you have bisque you're looking for that you may not be able to get at a local shop, or if you don't have a shop, you can go and buy bisque also at those shows. So it's not just for like ceramic businesses. Like, it's usually open to the public and anyone can go to it. They used to have like competition and judging. I don't know if this shows. I think Ohio's has a lot of that. I don't think Wisconsin has much anymore. So I don't know what Florida has, if they have judging where people can enter their pieces and they judge them and give them ribbons. And it's always nice to go to see that kind of stuff, to see what other people are doing and working on too. So the shows are great too. They're great to go to. They're not just for businesses to go to. So we're going to get our berries here. It looks like I missed our berries last time. And it used to be that the mold companies would be there with all their new molds and paints and things, but like things have changed a lot, so that's kind of different today, but it's still fun to go. We're actually going to the Waukesha show August 20th. I have the Noel's large Christmas tree ordered with the one extra branch. Next year we'll get another branch. And then we have the Byron Nativity set, and I'm missing 2 of the camels, so I have those. They have to call me back, but HK Enterprises has those molds, so they hopefully will be making those for me and bringing those. The shows used to be like, I would say 3 times the size of what they are now, but there'll be people or like different instructors there. They may be offering make and takes where you pay a price and you may pick a couple projects or be able to pick from a couple projects, and you can sit down and make that project and then take it home with you. I know Michael Harbridge will be at the Waukesha show doing that, and he's at the Florida show, but I think you have to pre-register for the Florida show for his classes. But that's a great way to learn new techniques too, is to go to the show and be able to take like those make and take classes and make a piece and bring it home.
South Carolina in October.
Oh, South Carolina has one, and I think Ohio has one in September. So we have our red painted out, and you want to make sure you can't see your rust through your red, so you may have to do a couple touch-ups. So it's fun to go to the shows. You see a lot of stuff. Just not as much as it used to be, but hopefully what ceramics seems to be growing, it'll pick back up. But it's expensive for vendors to come to the show like that. They have to travel, plus you have your hotel fee and your booth fee, which isn't cheap. You're eating. It's not a cheap venture to go to something like that and spend 2 to 3 days there, and maybe a day or 2 on the road on top of it. So we have our number 2 done. So now we are going to go to number 3, paint the scarf and mittens with bright green. So we have our bright green OS464 bright green. Courtney says she'd be terrible at bingo. She must be having trouble writing the numbers down, you guys. Oh, because you're forgetting? So I have to shake this one up good. I haven't used it in a long time. So you want to shake your paints up really well, because it can separate. So like this one has sat probably since last year when we did green. So now we are going to do the mittens, and let's see what else. Mittens and scarf with our bright green. So I'm just going to keep using my little liner brush just because it's just handy to do with these little dainty areas here. And we're going to paint our bright green out. And again, you guys can paint these things any colors you want. I just did 3 different ways and kind of 3 different colors so you can see the differences of the techniques. We like to order some of our bulky supplies and pick them up at the show so we don't have to pay shipping on them. So that's an advantage to going to the show, and then getting molds. Huh?
There's still gas.
Yeah, there's still gas and time, but like we're getting the Noel tree, so we won't have to pay shipping on that big tree. So that's an advantage to getting stuff at the show too. But you do have to pre-order that kind of stuff. They don't just bring it. So we're painting out our scarf here with our bright green. And we're just painting away, nothing fancy, just plain old painting, kind of like coloring in the coloring book. And then again, we'll finish these guys next week, and then we'll move on to our fun gourd, which is going to be fun. I did start pouring. We have the skinny gourd too that came with our last order. that had gotten broke with the Jolly Tree too, so I am pouring that skinny gourd if anyone wants to get that in their next box. It won't be available for this box because I just started pouring it. Courtney, you'll have to check the price and stuff on that, huh?
Do I want to ship it?
Yeah, it's not bad. It ain't that dainty.
Picture looked dainty.
So I am pouring. So we have the skinny gourd, the chubby gourd, and the large gourd. But we got that skinny gourd mold late because they had to resend it because it got broke. That and the Jolly Tree, so. We're just brushing out our green here. If you wanted, you could switch to a larger brush, a nylon brush to paint in, but as long as I have green in my liner, I'm just going to do my green with the liner. Let's see, are we doing mittens too? Mittens too, so we don't have to line out the mitten, we can just paint the mitten. So just painting our mittens, painting our scarves, making nice clean lines, brushing out that paint so you don't have puddles. I did pour our Donna's watering sprinkling can, but I don't think Courtney's going to want to ship that. It's probably too big. Poured some of the hand-in-hand ghosts and some of the hand-in-hand snow scarecrows. Trying to get ready for the fall stuff. Poured some big molds today. Poured the big eagle. Poured the woodland snowman. Poured the double stacking toads. Fairy mold went back to the storage unit today on the way to Courtney's. He probably ain't coming back till spring because that thing is so heavy. The fairy, that big fairy. I poured 3 and that's it. So I'm just going back now because I can see white through my green, and you don't want to see your base through your colors. So it can take 2 coats or even 3. And we'll come over here and get his other mitten with the green. See, gas is 20 cents cheaper down here though than Shawano.
Yeah, always they're cheaper than you by that much.
And I'm on E, so I'm pretty sure I gotta stop before I go home because I didn't have time to stop on the way down. Oh, I poured the Bundle Up Penguin. That was on it.
Yeah, we haven't had him on the shelf at the farmhouse.
Yeah, he was.
Maybe just one.
Probably 1, yep. Poured the Bundle Up Reindeer. That was all done this morning. So I'll have to take those out tomorrow morning. And probably pour them again this weekend. Get a couple on the shelf. They were in the garage because I needed to pour them, and then for orders I thought, well, as long as they're here I might as well pour them and get them on the shelf instead of taking them back and dragging them back again. There's actually a, I think Glazer's posted it. There's a medium-sized Bundle Up Penguin. I didn't know that. Kind of like the Snowman, the medium. There's a medium.
Yeah.
There's a medium penguin too.
There's a medium reindeer too.
Oh, really? Okay, so now we're going to do our mittens on our girl. I gotta see, what color did we do her holly? to read our instructions here. So we have paint the broom, oh, holly green. That's a different green. Okay, that's Christmas green. So we're just going to do her mittens with the bright green. We used a different green for the holly. Oh, you knew those? There was medium in those?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't.
I've seen them on the flyer.
Should probably drag the moose out of the basement and pour him too. And then
The game buster ones pulled.
they're not pulled, but I know where they are. It seems like everybody's kind of switched over to fall, Thanksgiving, and Christmas here already, really quick.
Your guardian's supposed to get the boot.
Cordy said the garden stuff's getting the boot.
When I have time.
People still paint that because they give it as
That's fine,
gifts,
but
so
it's
don't.
getting the boot.
It don't have to be on the front shelf, but it's still got to be there.
It's going to the backpack.
Well, we can't go too far back because there's people that don't paint holidays too.
It's
So
okay, but it's still going to the back.
So we're just painting our bright green on our mittens here, getting her looking all cute. It's just kind of little putsy work that just takes time when you're painting it out like this. Kind of no different in dry brushing, that takes time too. So we'll put her down and go to the other one. Let's see. Is there a bundle up bundle? There's a few bundle up bundles. There's the reindeer, the penguin, the snowman. Is that it?
A reindeer, a snowman, a penguin.
Oh, there's some turkeys, I think, maybe, huh?
Yeah, there's turkeys.
I don't know if we don't have those turkeys though.
Maybe a good one to get.
We have Larry the turkey.
We need his partners.
He's a little bit bigger than the bundle up size guys. So I'm just going back with my bright green over my scarf just to make sure it's covered really nice and I'm not seeing white through it. And on the mittens here. Let's see, the great nephews are working on their fair projects. One of them is doing the Clay Magic Uncle Sam, so that should be really cool. One did a set of otters. And then he's also going to do a snail with that cobblestone technique. So we'll be working on that next week one day. And August will be come and gone, and I won't have all the things done that I need to get done.
That's true.
Because I also, besides the garage, I have to get into the storage unit and get stuff on, get some shelves built again. And get stuff logged so we can find them.
I gotta get some finals. Yeah, clean up.
Well, I hope you're planning on coming to the storage unit one day. We're getting our green, bright green on our mittens here, so it's nice and solid coverage. You don't want to see the white through it or your bisque through it. We have a nice layer of our bright green on there now. So how are we doing on time? 8:20. Okay, let's see what's next. We are going to paint our holly with Christmas green. So we're going to go to OS 488 Christmas green. OS 488 Christmas green. And we got to give that a good shake too because there's been sitting here. OS488 Christmas Green. So it's just another shade of green. It's a little bit darker. So I wanted our holly to be a little bit darker of a color. So we'll just line that out too with our liner. And you just want to butt it right up to the hat, right where the two meet. You don't want to overlap one onto the other so it looks like it's overpainted. And we'll go around our holly berries here. And just brush it out so you don't have puddles and ridges. And then we'll just come around our holly. I see they've got the school list already for the kids for starting school with the supplies they need. So it won't be long and everyone's going to be back to the grind. And summer will be over. I noticed more and more trees have changed colors since last week too, already on the top. Some of the maples are getting their colors starting. So I don't know if that means we're going to have an early fall or what, but I wouldn't mind it with this heat and humidity that we've been having. So you can see a different shade of green than the mittens is kind of nice so that it doesn't all blend together. The holly kind of stands out from the mittens and the mittens stand out from the holly, being different shades of green. So it's good to have different shades of a color. So we're just lining out our holly and now we'll fill it in. So the hummingbird moth that I seen at the classroom on Sunday was pretty cool because I didn't even know there was such a thing as a hummingbird moth. But the wings, it has wings like that flutter like the hummingbird, and then it also has that long beak like the hummingbird has. But the body is kind of more like a bumblebee. So it was pretty cool to see that. It was flying around on the phlox. A friend of mine said she had them on her phlox too, so I'm guessing they must like phlox. Because I've never seen them or heard of them, but it was pretty cool to see it. It wasn't scared or anything. It just stayed right there and went from flower to flower. We're just painting out our Christmas green on our holly here. Want to not see any white coming through it. So that looks pretty good. I can see white through my bright green here, so I'm just going to come back and give it another little quick layer. Or otherwise when we seal it, we'll be able to see that white streaking through there. So once it's dried, you can see where it's not enough, so you can go back and touch it up. And I can see through her mittens, so we'll be covering that up. So that looks pretty good. So now her holly green, or Christmas green has dried on her holly, and I can see some white through it, so I'm going to go back and touch that up. So you just want to take that extra time to go back and touch it up, because it'll make it look a lot nicer in the end. And then I'm guessing we're probably at a good stopping point for this week. So we'll probably stop here. I can see some white underneath the edge here though. I'll touch this up. And a little bit on top there. So I think those look pretty good, and I think we're at a good stopping point for those. So this is where they are going to. So you can see we have a little ways to go, but we'll get to that next week. And then we'll get our snow and glitter on all of them. So that's our red set. Then we have our purple set. And then we have our blue set. So we should be able to finish your July box next week. Your August boxes will be going in the mail Friday, Saturday, and Monday. I'm guessing the invoices you'll get on Monday probably, Courtney, or tracking on Monday?
By Monday.
By Monday?
Unless you have like a ton of whatever is in your last kill load of extra.
Unless you had a ton of extras, they may have to go Tuesday, but otherwise Friday, Saturday, and Monday, everything should go out for your August box. We have a lot of boxes with a lot of stuff this month because of the sale that we had, so it's a little, we're not behind, but it's just a little extra work, which is great. And we appreciate all you guys purchasing extra stuff. So we will finish our July box next week, and then your August box will be on its way. And then we will be able to do a second project with the August box. So I'll try, I don't know how I'm going to get all that painted, but we'll get that before we start the August box. That way if you want to not do the silk screening and you want to do the second project, you could probably do that instead. Or if you ordered the second gourd, you could do it on the second gourd, because I know some of you guys got second gourds. And I think that's probably about it. Our classroom is closed for the month of August, so we can get my garage insulated and wall board up and get the pouring area set up better, and the storage unit with some more shelves. And Courtney will be at the classroom on Saturday from 9 till probably 4. You can stop and pick up supplies, or your local Bisque box if you're a local picker-upper. Although if you can't make it Saturday, we can do it another day. You just have to message us.
Probably be out there Monday too, but I don't know for sure.
Probably Monday or Tuesday. I know one of the ladies is probably coming on Tuesday. Well, we can just message us for that for local pickups otherwise. So Jackie says, great class. You always learn so much. Oh, that's great to hear, Jackie. Thank you. So hope everyone feels the same way. Otherwise, I guess have a great week, you guys, and we'll keep you posted at where we're at. I think Courtney has everyone messaged or invoiced except for one or two people. She says Diane.
If you think you should have gotten an invoice and you haven't messaged me.
So Courtney says if you haven't gotten an invoice and you should have, send her a message. So she'll take care of you, and we'll take care of you guys. And I hope you have a great week and a great last month of summer here, and we'll have fun with our August box with our new two new techniques, actually, the background and the silk screening. We can show you that again quick too, I suppose. So this is your August box with the large Mako gourd and then the Mako dragonfly. It's got a rope stem. And then we're doing silk screening with the Welcome Autumn, and then with our dragonflies. We made the silk screens, so you'll be getting the Welcome Autumn silk screen and the dragonflies, and then you'll get a little container of the Silkscreen Medium to thicken your paint. This is the full size container. You can't order this extra by messaging Courtney. It'll probably last you a lifetime. We just sprinkle a little bit of this powder into our paint to thicken it like paste, and then we will rub that paste through our silk screen. So it's actually a heat transfer vinyl with a cutout in it, and then silk is ironed onto the back. So there's actually, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little mesh There's mesh in these letters, and we'll be rubbing that thickened paint through this, and that is what is going to put our design onto our gourd. And excuse me, I take a drink, I'm getting a dry throat. So we just have to make sure that you're thickening your paint enough so that it doesn't bleed under the silkscreen, but otherwise it's quite easy. And then the background, we use a saran wrap with 2 different colors and dab it on there. It's kind of a wall painting technique, but it worked great on here. It makes it look very gourdish. So that's our August box that we're working on. If you want one, you can still get one. But I guess that's it. Otherwise, you guys have a great night. Thanks for joining us again tonight. We appreciate every one of you and your purchases. And we will see you next week. Thank you guys. Bye.